Hello, Rob here. In this video, which is a follow-up to my previous video about setting up a game of Dark Venture, I am going to play the first turn of the game. So you start your turn by drawing a card. So you can choose to draw a location, a character, or an item card. Based on my side quests, I have one that's wait what happened, have your hero become conscious after becoming unconscious. Feels balanced, equip a new weapon and keep it equipped for 2 game rounds, and enter 3 different locations that have hex actions. So I already drew at the beginning of my game, I drew a location that does have a hex action, Dead's Toll House Pass. So that puts me one step towards getting this side quest. I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw an item to try to get a weapon that I can equip and keep equipped for 2 game rounds. So I think I'll take a draw off the item deck. And I drew the survival knife. Survival, while a character who's equipped with this knife has 12 health or lower, they gain 1 power and 1 speed. So I'm going to immediately, I'll just put that in my hand for now. This other thing that you can do at the beginning of your turn is decide whether you want to discard one of your side quests to draw up another side quest, or you can discard all your side quests once per game to draw another heroic quest. But for now, I'm going to get rid of this side quest, which is have your hero become conscious after becoming unconscious. Discard that, and I'm going to draw another side quest card. Stop the aggression. Defeat an aggressive enemy in combat. Okay, so that will kind of go along with my heroic quest, which is to defeat a Sarkag wolf and bring its pelt to the crossroads. So if I do find a Sarkag wolf, I can fight it. I will get this quest point and I will start on my way to getting this heroic quest completed. All right, so first off, I'm gonna take this survival knife from my hand. I'm gonna put it into my character's inventory, and then I'm going to equip it. So because it is a one-handed weapon and the sword that Plantman was holding was also a one-handed weapon, I can hold them both. So I'm kind of dual wielding here. And so by doing that, I'm adding, so I've got 3 attack bonus now. So I'm going to switch out my token for a +3 attack bonus. It also changes my power. So I go up 1 in power. And it changes my speed. I go up 1 in speed. Excellent. So that was, so without even taking any actions, I've already started, I'm well on my way to, I'm going to use there's a lot of extra cubes, especially if you're playing a solo game. I'm going to use a cube to remember that this side quest here, equip a new weapon and keep it equipped for 2 game rounds. So this will be the first round. So on the next round, I'll have to complete the next round, and then at the end of that round, I'll be able to turn that side quest in. All right, so I think next up, for the first part of your turn is card draw. You draw your card, you can switch out your side quest. The second phase is the action phase, and in Dark Venture 2nd Edition, there are 3 types of actions. So there are paid actions that you can spend one of your 3 action points to complete one of these actions. And you have to spend an action point to move, to search a location, to initiate combat, or to straight up just draw a card. So the difference between searching a location and drawing a card, when you search a location, you can only do it once per location. And when you search, you're only able to draw 3 items. If you successfully search, you draw 3 items and you can choose one. With draw a card, you can draw a location, a character, or an item. You get 1 card and you get what you draw. So in search a location, it's good if you're looking for a specific thing, like if, for instance, I was looking to find a new weapon, or some of the side quests will involve, finding a shield or finding a specific item. This will allow you to kind of go through, churn through that item deck and to try to find a specific item or a specific type of item that you'd be looking for. So I think what I'm going to do, so that's the paid actions. Then the second type of action is the once per turn, one location and character may be played for free, and then one action point per location or character may be spent to play more characters. So right off the bat, if I want to, I can just play. I have this location in my hand, I could just play it. Doesn't even cost an action point to do that. So that's the, but if I had another location in my hand and I wanted to play it, I would have to pay an action point to do it. And then there are also free actions. Players do not pay action points to take these actions on their turn. That's trade or give an item, equip, use, pick up, or drop an item. So those are just free actions. I actually did one. I equipped that item. It doesn't cost anything to do that. There are also, at the beginning of the game, you choose to use either the guides, the A guides, or the B guides. In this game, I'm choosing to use the A guides, and there's a location guide and an actions guide. And so when you enter a new location, you read the entry that corresponds to the number of the location in this book here. And then from there, that particular location might lead you to an action in this book. So if a location has a blue circle, that's the location number, and then it may have a green hexagon with a number in it, and that's an action hex, and that number corresponds to an action in the action guide. So as you saw, I do have a quest that involves triggering some actions. Important thing is that some actions that are in this book will cost an action point to complete. Some of them are free. Some of them cost more than one action point to complete. And the action will say that it'll say how much it costs to complete the action in the book. And if it doesn't say that it's free, or it doesn't have a price, it's just free. It's just free to complete. So in a lot of cases, it'll say, if you want to do this one thing, it costs an action point. If you want to do this other thing, it'll be free, or you can just leave. And so you can just leave that location and not pay a point to do that. So I guess that kind of summarizes how the location and action guides, and we'll put it into practice here. So what I'm going to do is for my first action, I think I'm going to search the crossroads. So in the search action, you can search a location. You roll 1d6 plus your mind, the mind of the character searching. And if it's 8 or higher, you can draw the 3 items to choose one. So I am going to roll 1d6 plus the plant man's mind is 5, and I have to get 8. So I got 7, so I failed. And in that case, I put a search token on this location on the crossroads, and now it cannot be searched again. So that was one action. So I'll spend an action point. I'll take that off of the dashboard. And for my next action, I get a free, once per turn, one location or character may be played for free. So, then I'm going to play my Dead's Toll House Pass. So what happens when you play a location is you look up that location's entry in the guide. So that is location number 13, Dead's Toll House Pass, and I will read that. You notice writing and symbols on a wooden sign crudely nailed to a tree on the side of the road. Scrawled above a series of ornate geometric symbols etched into the wood, the letters are barely legible. You can make out the following: Leave an offering or suffer. Not far from the sign, there was a broken down shack that was once a toll house. When a player's hero or follower enters this location, read action 24. So at this point, I have a decision to make. I can move into this location, and if I do, I will read the action 24 from the action guide. It does cost me an action to move, so I'm actually going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to move into Dead's Toll House Pass, and I will read action number 24. I may summarize it just so that I'll keep it off camera so I'm not spoiling too much. But upon entering the toll house in this location, let me just remember to, there we go, that cost an action to move. Upon entering the toll house in this location, each player's hero or follower may, once per game, choose to either drop a held item here forever or roll 1d6 luck. And I'm not going to go into the outcome of that. At the end of this, it says, part of the action is draw a location and place it anywhere on the map. It does not need to be placed adjacent to this location. Read the location entry immediately. On this turn, at no AP cost, your character may move to the new location by foot. So when it says by foot, there are several different means of travel in Dark Venture. By foot means that if you're going through, you will actually travel from one location to the other by foot. And if there is an aggressive enemy in that location, they will attack you. If there is an action that hasn't been triggered in that location, you would set off the action. If there's a trap there, you'd set off the trap. If there's, whatever's happening in that location, if you're traveling by foot, that whatever's in that location will be activated as you move through it. Other ways of travel in the game there's a couple different ways. Usually they come up in actions or, some kind of a, odd occurrence or an event happens and your character is moved from the location they're in to another location. And a lot of times that would be through teleportation. So you teleport. So when you're teleporting, when the book says that you're teleporting, you don't trigger the actions in a location as you travel through it. And there's also, you can travel unnoticed. And there are some instances where it says you'll travel from your current location to X location unnoticed. And in that case, you also do not trigger aggressive enemies to attack you or any actions or any kind of, any events or traps, etc. in the location. So you just travel unnoticed. So in this, it said that I can, in 24, it said, I did skip over part of that action just to keep it a little bit of mystery. But at the end of it, it did say, draw a location and place it anywhere on the map. It does not need to be placed adjacent to this location. So I'm gonna draw a location, and I drew the Gaping Maw. So I'm gonna place the Gaping Maw next to this location. So I'm gonna kind of move stuff over a little bit so this will fit. There we go. I'm gonna put the Gaping Maw right here. And it said to read the entry for that location immediately. So Gaping Maw is location number 23. So I will look it up in the book. 22, 23, the Gaping Maw. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. It says, while walking, you notice a sparkle in the dirt near your feet. You reach down to find the source. It is a small human tooth with a piece of metal burnished into it. You look around and several paces away, you see an old bleached bone. It is large, likely a leg bone. Then near it, you notice a smaller rib bone than another. Your eyes follow a trail of bones that lead down the road and into a clearing ahead. When a player's hero or follower enters this location, read action 46. So in this case, I kind of put it a distance away, but it is also a hex action. But I would read action 46, which is actually noted on the hex action on the card, so you can remember it. If I do go into this location, it will, trigger another action from the action book. All right, so I have one more action I can take on this turn. I'm going to use it to search Dead's Tollhouse Pass. So again, I have a mind of 5, so I have to get 8 or higher with mind plus this dice roll. So I got 4 is 9, so I got higher than 8, which means that I put a token here to show that the location has been searched. But I get to draw 3 cards. I've got 3 items, and I can choose one. So in this case, I have some armor, I have a potion, and I have another sword. The prism sword must be unlocked with the prism key to equip it. Both must be equipped. Interestingly enough, I have the prism key. So hypothetically, I could equip this. It might be better. It requires 7 power or is two-handed. I do have 7 power, and it adds +1 to my power anyway, so I'll have 8 power in which to equip this with. Anyway, so that is pretty much I have to decide what I want to take. So I'm probably going to take this prism sword. It's always nice to have a little bit of, this is a marsh apple extract, which is a kind of a healing potion. It's always nice to have a healing potion kind of on standby. You know what? It's a tough decision because you get a lot of attributes with this prism sword, especially if I have the prism key. All right, you know what? I'm going to take the prism sword. I'm going to put that into my inventory. Not equipped for now. And then I'll take these and put them in a discard pile over by the items. So that is the end of my turn. I've used all 3 of my action points. I did get out and do something. I entering 3 locations that have hex action. So I entered 1. So I'm going to just mark that with a cube on there. Defeat an aggressive enemy. I did not. Yeah, so that brings us to the final phase of your turn, which is quest points. So in the final phase of your turn, I'll read it from the book. You check your quest points. Check all heroic quest and side quest cards, making sure that all points from completed quests have been scored on the quest point track. Then discard all completed quest cards. Once a player completes all 3 phases of their turn ends, and the next player's turn begins. And then beginning a new round, I'll go over that in a second. So I've got, this is my hand of cards, I've got 3. All right, so I did not complete any quests this round. So I don't get to move up on the quest point track just yet. Very soon though. This round is over, so the sun moves on the day track by 1 to begin the next round. If I had been damaged, I think I get, in first edition it was I get 2 points of health back at the end of a turn, at the beginning of a new round. And I think it's still the same in this. Yeah, it's still the same. Because we were testing actually to have it be 5 health, but 2 just seems to be a sweet spot. At this time, all players, heroes, and their followers replenish their AP, and all characters that have sustained damage gain 2 health. All right, so I get all my action points back, and I'm not hurt, damaged, so my health stays the same. All right, so that was one turn of Dark Venture, 2nd edition. And so I would keep going in my game at the 6th hour, the 6th point on the day track. After this, at the beginning of the 6th round, there's a symbol here. It's a warlock symbol, and what that represents is that there is a a temporal event happens at midday at Meridian, and things change, your timeline changes a little bit, and so you are granted another heroic quest. So you get a second one halfway through the day, if you haven't gathered another one some way in the game through an action before this point. So no matter what, you're gonna have a second heroic quest to do, and then the game ends at the end of the 12th game round. So that was one round of play, one round of Dark Venture. Thank you so much for watching, and stay safe.